I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause I on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, huh? They act like they made us, huh? You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not save us, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, please. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
I got it. Double time.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that. First drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. To get this one across the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They go play action with Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. former Saint, Mark Ingram. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
For a Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
What? Who's the team? They're going to need some therapy after this.
On 1st down, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Now Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Penny, a first down carry. Earl Thomas in on the stop. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you. Keep it to short.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. 39 yards there. A big one. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
He was brought down by Patrick Onwuasor.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they come up now second and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing on second and 8. Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. Sit there and get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Give me some. Touch 50, touch 50.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
40 wants the mic, 40 wants the mic. Check 41.
From the gun on third down, Wilson going for it all. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to leave.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack on first down, Jackson, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. And the return will stop right around the 25. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, this one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Ingram. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. This is Ingram. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. This is 1st and goal, and a goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Returnable for Lockett. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. They find some open field here. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A terrific run there by Penny. Give him 42 yards on the ground. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On second down, here's Penny. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On third and goal, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. Fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing again on second down. Jackson, he's got it to Ingram, complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball. When that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
57's Mike. Mike 57. I'm here all day. 1, 2, 4, 3, go. Mike. 57's Mike. Hey, get in the weight room. 57. 57's the Mike.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down with a sack at Ziggy Ansah. Well, that's one of those in-between spots where you like to rely on analytics. Did you like the decision to go for it?
Frankly, I did because, you know, I'm an aggressive guy. But that the analytics and the old school go by your feel, that's got to marry up a little bit better because that one felt like an analytics call that someone didn't have confidence in. You know, normally this coach, I think he would have punted the ball.
Yeah, calculated risk. It didn't work out. Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson. with his third touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Jackson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Jackson to throw. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Jackson. This complete to Jones.
Jackson's pass.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
To throw again is Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now it's Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. It's caught, Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. It doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, and now here is another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Penny running right, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He hits his running back, close ice. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders,